In this video, we are going to try and get this charade working again. We're cancelling what went before, we're going to throw it back together, and hopefully a bit later on do some deeper diagnosis into what's actually wrong with it. But I've come to the conclusion I'm not the one to actually fix this problem at the moment. So let's throw it back together, see if we can get it back into use, see if we can get a better diagnosis on what's actually gone wrong. Because I am way out of my depth pulling this engine apart. It's a very stupid idea. This video is sponsored by HubNut keyrings. They're very nice. So if you'd like a HubNut keyring, head to the store. Just time to grab one before Christmas. But yeah, the decision to resurrect this car and not actually just break it for spares and throw it to the scrapyard was in no way influenced by Miss HubNut.
Now get back up that unit and you fix my Chevy. Well, put it back together, you bulb-stealing buffoon.
Okay, maybe it was a little bit. Let's dig in. We need to reattach this heat shield somehow, even though all the mountings have come off. We need to retighten the two manifold nuts I did actually manage to get loose. And we also need to replace a little gasket on the back here with the inlet manifold off. So at least everything we've removed so far makes that easier. And it was that gasket failure that was really what made me think, let's take this car off the road, because it was losing coolant at a frankly quite alarming rate. So we'll replace that little gasket, button her all up, see how she is, take her for a drive, see if it's smoke a go-go, or if she's actually all right. And then in a future video, we shall try and do a bit more diagnosis and work out what we're actually going to do. Perhaps another engine is a better solution than trying to fix this one when I don't know how engines like this really come apart. Don't you think? I'm sure plenty of people will be letting me know in the comments, but let's dig in. Lighting conditions are somewhat challenging. I'm starting to think I should have parked the car the other way around, because I've got an overhead light at the back of the car. The bonnet is neatly blocking the view. So we'll try and use this lead light to cast some illumination on proceedings. There shouldn't be too much to do. Like I say, we just got that gasket down the back. I might have to get the inlet manifold off, but quite a lot of what we got out of the way is going to help with that. I must also give a quick shout out to this jump pack, this high power jump pack. It's 99,800 milliamp hours, peak current of 600 amps. I bought that on eBay for about 40 quid. I use it for charging camera gear, phones all the time, as well as jump starting cars. It'll jump some pretty big engines, but a 2-litre turbo diesel, no bother at all. And it'll do it a few times as well, so I can start several members of the fleet. I've actually got the battery charger working, so that's been charging Took. I'm going to put it back on Shemi's battery as well. Just charging up a workshop light, because I think that'll be useful as well. But yeah, start digging in, I think. And yeah, first challenge is going to be finding where this gasket is right on the back of the engine. Gosh, it is mucky down there. Yeah, I think just under this corner of the inlet manifold there's a gasket which degraded, and I made the mistake of picking at it, and needless to say that it did not improve matters. It then started leaking much more severely. So inlet manifold off is probably going to be next. More electrical connectors. Yeah, it's one of those where I finally did realise I don't know what I'm doing. So there's a reason a lot of people, if a head gasket fails, will change the engine rather than replace the head gasket. The only time I've done a head gasket on a modern-ish car, and it wasn't that modern because it was a Nissan Bluebird, but that was the one. And it ended up costing a lot of money once you'd skim the head, bought all the gasket kit, all the coolant and everything, and I was thinking, this would have been a lot easier just to change the engine. I do have an engine hoist, so it is feasible. But a lot of people keep talking about PCV as well. I cannot find a PCV on this engine. There's a pipe here which obviously comes from somewhere, but doesn't seem to attach to anything inside the engine. But that is where the oil is coming from. It's getting into the engine. I suppose one option would be to put that into a catch can and see if that builds up lots of oil, and if that's how it's getting into the engine, but I'm pretty sure it is. Right, we've got a few little hoses to disconnect, vacuum hoses and the like. I've got to try and remember where they actually go. and wiring as well. There's some wiring there, although having said that, I might have enough freedom in it to move away. Oh, that's injector wiring. A huge thank you to all the supportive comments that have been coming in while I've been doing this. Obviously, there's been quite a few telling me I'm a complete idiot and I should go nowhere near cars, but such has always been the case on HubNut. I'm a man having a go, and I represent all of those of us who have a go. Not everyone can afford to take their car to a garage every 5 minutes, and sometimes if you're running old cars, you're kind of forced to have a go yourself. I mean, there's nothing worse, really. I've been there in a situation where you've got to get the car working because you've got to go to work. And I've also been there where I haven't had a dry-ish place to work on the car. So you're working out in all weather and it's just horrible. So, yeah, I do know what it's like. Oh, there we go. That was a tight one. Bit naughty, really. Shouldn't be using a ratchet spanner for cracking nuts off, but I think life is going to start getting a bit more challenging. At the moment I can get straight down to these ones on the corner, but getting to the other nuts on this intake manifold might be a bit of a challenge. It's where you need the little lamp as well, which sadly the battery is not very good on these days, and yeah, I'm going to struggle to get down on that with this. Yeah, you can imagine what fun this is. That's been the most difficult one to get at so far. Can you even see down there? The focus is unsurprisingly struggling somewhat. There we go. That nut down there has proven the biggest challenge, but I've managed to get something in. I think I've got them all undone. I've grabbed the magnetic pickup tool because I suspect that will be saving our bacon on this one. Maybe I should have seen if more of this comes apart, but no, I don't think it does. Instead of runners come all the way up into this box, so I don't think we can actually do anything to help ourselves there. Okay, in theory that is now ready to go. Just make sure that's not attached there. No. Oh no, there's definitely something else holding that. What else is holding it? That's off, that's off, that's off. Why aren't you coming off? What else is holding it? Is there any support on the back of this? Oh yes, there we go. Oh, crack. That's a noise you hear a lot on Japanese stuff. Another annoyance is I've got air conditioning pipes all over the place. The air conditioning doesn't even work on this car. And there are definitely times I've wished it worked. Because even here in chilly old Blighty, air conditioning really does help reduce the moisture on the windscreen. I've been using it in Betty quite a lot lately. That's an annoying one. Usually with Japanese stuff, once you get it cracked, bolts start undoing quite nicely. There we go, finally out. So I'll put that over there. See how we're doing now. Aha! I think we're going to have to move some pipes, but I've just remembered I undid some exhaust manifold bolts last time, didn't I? So should we just have a quick double check that they're tight? I didn't take any out. That will be tight, that won't be a problem. I think that one I managed to crack off. Yep. Just going to go effing tight on those. Yeah, it's horribly damp. Just a reminder, I definitely need a better unit. But that's going to have to wait, I'm afraid. That might be enough to get my little gasket out. We haven't actually got to take the manifold off, we've just got to get a gasket out on the inside of it. And it does seem strange, I must admit, to have a water coolant passage in the inlet manifold, but there we are. Now this is being held by more pipes, I think. I don't know what pipe is holding it now. It could be wiring. Yes, unfortunately we've got a HubNut off sick today, so again, family life rather gets in the way. But nonetheless, come on. It's going to be fun to get the new one in, isn't it? Well, unfortunately, my microphone failed at this point, but this is the old gasket that came out. It should be in one piece, not split like that. So that was the problem. That's why coolant was pouring out the back of the engine. Trying to show you that it sort of fits over a hole in the new inlet manifold gasket, but actually it seems a bit bigger, which has left me wondering if it might actually be a gasket set for an entirely different engine. That is very, very possible. And I look like I want to glue it back together there. I don't think that's going to work, sadly. So that's brought things slightly to an end. Here I go, thurtling down the back of the engine. I have no idea what I'm doing. What am I doing here? Having a look at it, trying to work out if that gasket matches the inlet manifold, and then concluding that it doesn't. This was my big finale here. Here I am leaning against the car, talking dramatically, looking like I've very badly dubbed myself. Talking about how this has gone very wrong. What we've actually done, someone who sent me the manuals has managed to back order that seal from Japan. We can't find one in the UK, so we're going to have to wait for that arrival. We've no idea how long it's going to take. That's what happens when you own cars from defunct manufacturers like Daihatsu, and over there, of course, we've got the Daewoo and the Altsit. So yeah, point at them, me. There we go, Daihatsu, Daewoo, Altsit, and Yugo. So yeah, manufacturers that either don't exist or don't exist in the UK anymore. So yeah, a problem. And now there's some more waffle. I forgot what I said at this point. Maybe let's head to the HubNut store at hubnut.org. But I think we're brewing up to the big farewell and see you in a future video.